spoiler alert, this bag is not going to be for everyone. Hey everybody, it's Lauren from It's the Kellys, and I have reviewed a ton of pieces of carry-on luggage on this channel. But the number one piece of luggage that you guys have been begging me to review for a couple of years now is one that always kind of makes me cringe a little bit. You guys know exactly what I'm talking about, the Solgaard carry-on closet. You know, the one that has won countless awards and has even been named the best travel invention. Yeah, that one. Let me explain. I travel a lot, constantly throughout the year, coming home in between my trips, which means I have been to 95 countries and all 7 continents in a carry-on bag. But every time I do it, I still come home and then repack and leave again. I have become quite a bit of a packing expert, and I have my techniques that I have used that have worked very, very well for the past 9 years. Now I teach you guys how to pack on YouTube. So if you're not familiar with the Solgaard carry-on closet, it is a hard-sided hybrid piece of luggage that when you open it up clamshell style, there is actually a hanging shelving unit inside of it, and that's how you are supposed to pack all of your items. And most consumers are going to look at this and be like, whoa, did you see that? That is so cool. And then it leaves me and some other travelers to kind of say, what's that? That's not gonna be great. So the only way for me to really be able to test it out was to order it myself and pack it and see how it really works. I actually paid $320 and it arrived and I was ready to make my video. And then after many years of Solgaard not responding to me, they finally responded and said, we'd love to send you a bag. So now I have 2. So what this video is going to be is telling you guys every single thing that you need to know before purchasing yourself a Solgaard carry-on closet. I'm going to show you bits of the bag along the way, but I'm going to show you all of the important things you need to know to decide if this luggage is right for you or not. Because, spoiler alert, this bag is not going to be for everyone. The closet is the most important part of this piece of luggage, but I want to show you the closet in depth, what it can fit, and then show you everything else, like how to set it up and how much space does it actually take up, and can that hold more or less than packing cubes, and how convenient is it really? So this is the luggage, you guys, and like I said, I'm not going to get into a big, full, in-depth review. However, this is the carry-on closet medium, which means that this is internationally sized. They also have the carry-on closet in large, which is better for US domestic travel, and then they have 2 check-in bag sizes, as well as light versions of all of those. The light versions are obviously going to be more lightweight, but they're also going to have a zipper as opposed to a latch. You see these latches right here. This luggage is zipperless, and it does have an aluminum frame, meaning it's a hybrid. It does have a polycarbonate shell. This is the purple one. This is the one I purchased myself. And then this is the blue one that Solgaard sent me. So this is the bag we're going to be focusing on today. So the first thing you need to know before ordering your Solgaard luggage is that the dimensions and weight that are listed on the website are not accurate with what you have in person. So the height on the website says that it is 20.5 inches tall, including the wheels and the handles. It's actually a lot closer to 22. Without the wheels and the handles, it's only 19. So I'm really not sure where they're getting that measurement. Now the actual depth of the bag is 8.5, and they do actually say that it's 9, smaller than what they say. And then the width of it is about 14 and a half, including this handle and the feet, when really that they say that it's 13.4. Don't let that freak you out. This is still going to be a great piece of luggage for international travel, at least when it comes to the dimensions. But we need to talk about the weight. Hybrid luggage is always going to weigh a little bit more than normal polycarbonate luggage because of its aluminum frame. At least 8.5 pounds, if not closer to 10. So when I saw on the website that this bag by itself, not including the closet, was only 7.5 pounds, I was really excited. And this is not 7.5 pounds, you guys. It's actually over 9 pounds. So that is way, way off. In fact, I will do it again. Here is my luggage scale. The bag is completely empty. It does not even have the closet in it right now. And it's weighing in at 9.14 pounds. And that's not okay. And it is 10.1 pounds with the closet. Now, I don't really like that the website is off. I have no idea how they got their measurement. I have weighed this a zillion times. But as you guys know, some airlines will weigh your luggage, and if that's the case, this is going to be fairly heavy. And lifting it over your head could be a little bit more difficult. So that is something I definitely want you to consider. The next thing I want to do is give you guys an in-depth tour of the closet itself. So the carry-on closet actually comes in this little drawstring bag, which can be doubled, of course, as a laundry bag. So here it is. On top, you do have these buckles right here, so that can either buckle on to the handle of your luggage as advertised, or of course buckle onto a bar in the closet of your hotel room. There are 5 different pockets, and I'm going to show you all of them in depth right now. First of all, the entire length of the closet is 35 inches. The actual width of the closet is 10, and then the depth of the closet is 6. So think about this. All of your little shelves here like this, you are going to have to fit everything into a 10 by 6 space, and then you have all of this space here depending on which shelf. You may need to fold or roll your clothes a little bit differently just to pack them in here to fit. Plus, they are used best when all of these are 60 to 70% full. You cannot pack them all the way up. So this first one right here is the most shallow one. It does have this mesh covering that covers about 2/3 of it, and it's about 3 inches tall. This second shelf here is 6 inches tall, and it has the mesh covering again, but it covers maybe half of it. So that's really interesting to me because I would almost rather it be higher up. This next one here is 9 inches tall, making it one of the biggest shelves that you have. And it does have this mesh covering and an actual zipper. The shelf below that one is actually identical, except that it's only 7 inches tall, but still has the mesh and still has the zipper. Now the last shelf is the one that I'm a little bit unsure of. It is actually 9 inches tall and has a bunch of little dividers and has absolutely no covering. The dividers are okay, but I would love if this was covered. It does have 3 spots on this side, 3 spots on this side, and then 2 larger spots right here. I have packed this a couple of times and stuff has fallen out. Now this is made with Shore-Tex material, which is 100% recycled plastic, which is really cool. This and the lining of the bag is made with Shore-Tex. In fact, I think that they said with every bag purchased, it does clean up 6 pounds of plastic that is bound to go in the ocean. So the next thing that I want to talk about is rolling or folding your clothes to fit into this bag. If you're a larger person like me, this shirt is a 2X, and you're really going to have to fold those into a 10 by 6 rectangle. If it's a larger item, you can fold it to be that small, but then it could be a little bit more thick, therefore taking up a lot of extra room. So for the rest of this video, let's go to the packing studio, show everything with the inside, and of course show you this versus packing cubes. I have went ahead and packed everything that I am bringing for my next trip. This is not a mock pack, you guys. This is actually everything I'm bringing on my trip next week. So I want to show you what can really fit in there. First, on this top shelf, 10 different pairs of underwear and a full-size bathing suit. Now I did have to roll this bathing suit like this, and that's really no big deal. This top shelf is definitely great for all of this. In here, I was able to just pack 3 shirts. Now this is just a typical shirt. It rolls like this, so it's just a couple of inches tall. Now I could fold the clothes instead and make it that 6 by 10 and put them in there that way, but they're actually gonna take up more space. You see that? Now down here, 3 different dresses, and I did have to make them fit like so. These could not really be rolled effectively. This one is rolled a little bit smaller, but this is a smaller dress. That is how everything fits in this one, which, to remind you, is the biggest shelf. Okay, so now we could talk about the bottom too. I've literally gone on the floor. So we're gonna unzip this one. This one is identical to this one, just a little bit smaller. And I've put my skirts in here, and they're both knee-length skirts. So I have folded them up to be that same size and put them right on top of each other for an easier grab. Now, alternatively, I could have rolled them up instead, and they take up the exact same space. This is not very full at all. I could definitely fit one more thing on top. Now, this bottom one is what I like to call the troublemaker. This is a full length skirt, so I did keep it separated. Now, I could, of course, put it in here. Every time I have packed and unpacked this bag, that skirt has fallen out and has made me completely bonkers. Down here, I have my pajamas, and then these are just 4 of my other shirts, kind of more specialty shirts that I'm not gonna wear every day, and I have put those down here. So that is how I would pack this carry-on closet for my next trip. And I really did consider bringing this bag with me, but I'm not going to, and I'm going to show you why in my next demonstration. Okay, so what I want to do now is take this out of the closet, compress it down to fit it into the luggage. So you're gonna take these straps and bring them down. And what I like to do is, you know, kind of take one at a time. If you were to do the whole one side at once, this whole thing is just gonna go, it can really not compress down the way it's supposed to and kind of burst open. See, that's what it does. That's super annoying. Now I have to redo it. Now you can see that it's kind of bulging out everywhere, right? Like that's just what it's going to do. And it also really wants to fold itself over. Now let's put it in the bag. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna put it in the side that has the compression. So putting it in compressed to the max, you can see that there's still a little bit of space on top, which does mean that you can fit something else in here if you wanted to, but you will notice that right now, see how much more height is coming out of the one side of the clamshell luggage. That's going to bulge over a bit. So what you really could do is loosen this compression so that it takes up the whole side of the bag, and therefore it really shouldn't go over as much. However, it still kind of does. You can see it, and I really wish there was some sort of way to hide these straps when it's compressed. Trunk luggage is very, very finicky, you guys, when you have to close it if there's a strap coming out. We will take this and buckle it together, cinch down that compression so that it's as tight and small as possible. And then you can see that it's definitely a little bit flatter, but still not completely flat. However, you've got all of this little space here, some space in through here, in the corners. This thing is pretty big and bulky. Also, when pulled super tight, you can't really utilize these pockets. This is a pocket meant for a portable charger. You do have, you can't even open it, this cord that comes with the bag so that you can charge it from the outside, put your portable charger in here, and do it on the go. When this is completely compressed down, I can't even really utilize that. So what I want to do next is talk about this side. If you pack this side and it bulges up really high, even like the example on the Solgaard website itself, you can't pack a ton of stuff on this side. This bag is not expandable, remember. So if this is packed 100% full and this side is packed more like 120%, you're not going to be able to shut it. You can see that this side does have these kind of awkward little shoe bags or organizational pockets. I personally am not a huge fan. I'm really going to do a packing Tetris technique on this side where I'm not always going to utilize this. Okay, so you can see now that I have packed this side with all of the other items I am bringing on my trip with me. So let's go ahead and zip that closed and close it. It does in fact close, but if I were to buy a couple of things, it would be a lot harder to pack. So I do want to continue talking about unpacking this bag and the other side, but I figured while I had this bag fully packed with the closet that I would weigh it. Now fully packed, it is 26.06 pounds. So now that your Solgaard bag is packed, let's talk about unpacking it, because that is the #1 reason why you have considered purchasing this bag. So there's 2 different ways to do it. The first way to do it is to open up the bag, undo that shelving system, and simply place it on the bar in the closet in your hotel room. Voila! You are unpacked in 2 seconds. But what about everything on the other side? Are you going to unpack that side? If so, then you haven't really unpacked in 2 seconds. Am I right? You're going to need to still put that bag somewhere in your room, such as a luggage rack or the floor, which I don't necessarily mind. However, the biggest argument about clamshell luggage is that it takes up too much room in the hotel room. Now, I don't agree with that. I think it's perfectly fine on a luggage rack. It fits and you can totally live out of your suitcase very easily. But if you are one of the people that complain about clamshell luggage on a luggage rack, not only are you opening up your shelving unit and putting it in the closet, but you're also still living out of your suitcase for everything on the opposite side. Therefore, you could have just lived out of your suitcase with packing cubes anyway. More unpacking cubes later. The second way to unpack this bag is to simply undo the shelving unit, but instead of placing it in the closet, you can leave your luggage upright, open it up to 90 degrees, keeping it that way with this little buckle here, and then simply attaching the buckle of the shelving unit onto the tallest height of your luggage handle. And then that is how you can live out of the suitcase. This is how it is advertised. This is the setup that everybody says, wow, I need this bag. But this is the setup that I'm like, what? First of all, it falls over all the time. I can't even tell you how many times I have used this luggage in the past few weeks since receiving it and packing it, even bringing it to a friend's house to show it to her, and it falls over all the time. And guess what? When it falls over, because not every single shelf has a zipper, your stuff falls out of it. I'm sorry, that's just annoying. The second part that I don't like about this setup is accessing everything on the other side. On that side, I have my toiletries, shoes, my tripod, all sorts of other things that I'm going to need. So if it's set up like this, it's not very easy for me to access everything on the other side. Do I need to unpack that side? Or am I just gonna leave everything in there and just unzip it, get something out, and zip it back up every time I need something? The third reason I don't like this setup is because it takes up a lot of space. This takes up way more space than on your luggage rack. I mean, seriously, taking a luggage that is essentially 22 by 14 by 9, opening it up all the way so that it's even bigger and taller, and it falls over all the time. So that's even more space. I don't know, it just doesn't really make sense to me. Can you unpack the shelving unit in 2 seconds? Yes. But are you actually unpacking your entire bag in 2 seconds? No. I don't know. That's just the stuff that just kind of drives me crazy about this bag. Now, the next thing that I want to do, and I think this is something that a lot of you have been waiting for, is to pack everything that is in that shelving unit and put them into my packing cubes instead, which is my typical way of packing. So this is everything from the closet. You guys just saw me unpack it. So I'm going to put the bathing suit and all the underwear into this little cube, and then I'm going to put all of the clothes into this cube. All right, we have the bag back up here again. We have this packing cube, which we will put in this way. And then with that extra space on top, we're going to put this packing cube in. So you can see how that fits. Benefits of the packing cube. This is really moldable and squishy. This can really mold itself to utilize every single little bit of space. You don't have any bulky areas. You don't have all of these straps and buckles everywhere. You just have this. Now, when we compress this side down, it is a lot more flat than the carry-on closet was, and every single little area of the bag is utilized. We can close it again. There you have it. A lot of you guys are probably wondering how much this weighs with the packing cubes instead, so let's check that out. Right now it is weighing in at 24.4 pounds. So it is definitely lighter, but still a pretty heavy bag. All right, you guys, so that is everything that I really feel like I had to show you about the Solgaard carry-on closet if it is something you are thinking about purchasing. Do I think that this is a great hybrid bag? Sure, I think it would go great up against all of my other hybrid bags behind me. I think the bag itself is great, but it's the carry-on closet that I personally am not a huge fan of. You guys saw that I was able to pack my packing cubes in there effortlessly, close it a lot easier, and essentially live out of the suitcase just the same way. Unzipping a packing cube to get an item of clothing out of it versus unzipping one of those shelves to get something out of it really isn't all that different to me. If you are new to organization in general and you haven't used packing cubes or you haven't used the closet, then that could be a whole new world for you. But I encourage you that packing cubes can probably be just a little bit better and save you some space and some weight. If you own this bag and love it, please chime in down below and let me know how it has gone for you. I'm personally interested in hearing your account of this bag, and I think everybody watching would be really interested as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay tuned for some more Solgaard videos. I do have the carry-on light version, and I will be doing a video comparing that one to the one I just showed you because it is a little bit lighter, but the closet is a little bit different as well. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed so that you can travel often and pack well like I do. Bye guys!